name of the actual the play or the performance should be, the last line should read, instead of the contract is for Repertorio to provide one performance of La Gringa at Brentwood High School, that should actually read to provide one performance of La breve y maravillosa vida de Oscar Wilde. And that is the brief and marvelous life of Oscar Wilde, and that's the closest English translation that I can give you. It has a termination date of 12/11/21. And everything else remains the same. So when we do get to that, we will amend. I'll bring this up again, and we will amend that item. Also there are a couple of D items that do not have any names attached to them. I would like to provide those names. Well, actually, let's go to D1B, the non-certificated personnel, item number 53A. It has a to be determined in terms of the name. Everything else on this item remains the same, so that to be determined will be removed, and we're going to add the name Deborah Banker. That's Deborah Banker, Banker. Everything else on that item remains the same. We are also going to go to D1C, Administrative Table of Organization, Assistant Coordinator to the Director of Special Services. That first resolution, because there are 3 of them, will have the name Elizabeth Sheehan in the blank that's there. Again, it's Elizabeth, Sheehan. We're going to go to D1D, Administrative Table of Organization. Again, it's the same type of position, Assistant Coordinator to the District Director of Special Services. That name will be Denise Farrell. The last name is Farrell. We're also going to go now to D1E, Administrative Table of Organization, Assistant Coordinator to the Director of Special Services. That one is going to be filled with the name Kimberly Clark. That's Kimberly Clark, Clarke. And the last resolution that needs a name is D1F, Administrative Table of Organization, Coordinator of Bilingual English as a New Language Instruction K through 12. That name will read Paula Ribeiro. That's Paula Ribeiro. Last name is Ribeiro. And those are the added information. With that being said, I would like to go to item A3, special presentation of the district safety plan. And we are going to invite Mr. Byron McCray, Director of Security, and Mr. Vincent Leone, Coordinator of Funded Programs, Compliance, and Chief Information Officer, please.
May we remove?
Yeah, absolutely. If you're comfortable, feel free, the speakers, to move their masks.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Feliciano, the whole Board of Education, Mr. Lochner, everybody that's in attendance here today. My job is significantly easier than Mr. McCray's. My job is to make sure that the written school district safety plan and the building plans meet State Education Department regulations, commissioner's regulations, law, and policy. Mr. McCray's job is significantly more challenging, making sure that these plans are living plans, and then as implemented, help us perform our most important duty, that is keeping our staff, our students, and our community safe. So the real hard job here is yours. So with that said, take it away, sir.
Good evening, everyone. We can go to the first slide. I'm just going to start off basically explaining the new things that are added to the safety plans. A few things were added. Thank you. Thank you. How about this? A few things were added to the safety plans. This year, they had, the state required that we added something to deal with a health crisis and dealing with any type of communicable disease. And they set out some regulations that we had to add into the safety policy. And a few of the things that were added into the policy, just in case we have to deal with the health crisis, is just in case someone actually catches the disease like COVID-19, how to handle the situation. And if we do, experience something, a severe health crisis where we have to close the schools, we have to point out essential employees. These essential employees will be in-person employees. So the district's responsible for keeping a certain amount of PPE, personal protection equipment, at least 6 months worth. Also, they're responsible for making sure if someone contracts the disease, giving them housing, working with the county, and making sure that they remain isolated or quarantined for that time period. Next slide.
Thank you, Candace. There we go.
Skip one.
There we go.
Also in the district safety plan, the challenges brought to us during the pandemic, which we dealt with over the last 2 years. We created some safety plans to bring the students back and the staff back safely. So the district is constantly sending me to trainings. Our medical director is going to trainings, so we're learning on how to deal with quarantining and isolating someone if they do happen to become positive with COVID-19. The universal correct way to wear a mask, and basically enforcing the rule. The superintendent has sent out a memo to everyone in the district that they're required to wear a mask when you're inside the school building. Physical distancing, which was originally 6 feet, which was decreased to 3 feet. And then also contact tracing. This contact tracing is just in case someone comes up positive, we have to isolate them. And if a cluster, it has changed since a year ago. Now we only investigate clusters. If more than one person tests positive, we have to investigate, we report to the Department of Health, and then they let us know if we're going to quarantine or not.
I think the next one's mine. So new regulations this year, actually started last year for safety plans, included protocols for closing schools. To make a decision on school closures, Mr. McCray, our Director of Emergencies, Sue Averso, who's our Medical Director, will work in consultation with Mr. Lochner and consider CDC guidance on the number of outbreaks in the school, the number of outbreaks in the community, to make a decision, the best decision on if schools are going to close. Certainly had some of those dynamics last year. Fortunately this year, we haven't had to deal with any school closing dynamics, and we certainly hope to keep that trend moving. I think I skipped one, Candace. Sometimes I'm too fast and sometimes I'm too slow. You gotta go fast.
This year also, we've been facing also in New York City with a lot of students who are eloping, basically leaving the school building on their own. Because they've been, in the whole household for a period of time, they've become a little bit independent, so they feel that they can travel on their own. So we've been dealing with that. And one incident that happened in New York City, and also in our district, a student would wander off, and we'd eventually have to stop him from leaving the building, or track him down and bring him back in the facility. So what we've done now is we've developed protocols to prevent something like that from happening. If someone was to leave the facility, we have a safe team in the security department that would be dispatched. We notify 911, and students who we know who are prone to walk out, we'll make sure they have identification on them. And also we're developing, door strikes on the doors. So if the doors open, the security officer will be alerted, and the front desk with security station will be alerted. So we're implementing a lot of things to prevent something like this from happening in the future. And, it's happening all over New York State.
And this is just an example of, in our district-wide plan and our building plans, meet compliance in every way and go above and beyond. So this is an example, regulations on student wandering and elopement. It's not required to be in district-wide safety plans in New York State. There is a recommendation, but just an example of how we approach safety in this district. These are living documents, and we are very responsive to the dynamics in the community. And when we see a need to update the plan to keep our children and community safe, it's exactly what we do.
You're bad at this. This is what you.
Oh, this is me? Okay, so let's see. So the required elements of our school plan. So Byron was good enough to talk about things that were new for this year. All the elements that are in our district-wide and school plans. I actually sat in a 3-hour webinar with the New York State Education Department this week. I used the checklist that the State Education Department furnishes to make sure that all the necessary requirements for district safety plans and building safety plans exist. As I suggested, our plans meet the minimum requirements and in many areas go above and beyond. So some of those folks may be familiar with. So just processes to react to threats or actual violence, communication with law enforcement, always thinking about prevention and really being proactive, logistics, communication, safety, drills. So everything that has to be in our plan meets State Education Department regulations, law, policy. Everything is there. Hey.
Additional required safety information that's included is that New York State is required that each school district appoint a chief officer, chief emergency officer. This officer is responsible, as Vincent mentioned earlier in the introduction, making sure that the meets in the safety plan and making sure that all the information, any safety issue that needs to be addressed is addressed. With each district is required to have a certain amount of drills, which is 12 drills. These 12 drills are 8 evacuation drills, which you would call fire drills, and the other 4 are basically active shooter drills, which is a lockdown, lockout. Okay, these emergency drills have to be done, at least 8 of them before December 1st.
And this is an opportunity to describe those 3.
All right, the different types of drills, there's different things. There's shelter in place. Shelter in place is when you're required to stay in the building because basically there's something going on outside and the safest place is inside. Then you have hold in place. A lot of people get this confused. Hold in place means you're staying in the classroom or staying in your area because there's some type of emergency in the hallway, meaning it could be a medical situation, some type of a fight, anything that will prevent them from leaving the class, we tell them to hold in place. Then you have the evacuation drill. This is just in case an emergency happens where the building's no longer a safe place to be, so everyone would evacuate and then go to the facility or the area that's designated in the safety plans. Then you have the lockout. Basically, people get this confused as well. Lockout, lockdown. Lockout means the threat is outside. That means you seal off the building and make sure that threat can't enter the building. Then you have lockdown. That means the threat's inside the building. This is where you bunker down, secure your room, hide, so the threat doesn't see you hiding.
And notice how similar the terms are in their language, how similar that they sound. So just imagine how important it is, the training, that is involved. That's why I said my job's easy. But Byron's job and his security staff and the training in the buildings is really vital. So folks aren't confused, in the event there is an emergency that we have to respond to. So we don't mind that other people are confused, just as long as our people aren't confused. And this is a good opportunity to mention that our district-wide plan is published. It has been published on our website. New York State policy, it has to be published and available to the community. Our building plans, however, are not. And those building plans have to remain confidential. And why is that? Because there's sensitive information in the building plans, that State Education Department, we would not want, to fall into the hands, of anyone who would do us harm. So district-wide plan must be publicly available, posted. Those building plans are private and confidential for us, so we keep our staff and our students safe. Good. Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh,
yours.
excellent, thank you.
All right, great. This is our district-wide This is our district-wide safety team. We have the 4 assistant superintendents, a trustee from the board, myself, our director of operations, the head of facilities, and our parent representative. These people are responsible for, developing and, consulting with us in the district and developing these plans. Then Vincent, who's now responsible for, his part, and let me see his new title, the compliance person. He's making sure that these things are sent to the state and everything is, accurate. So I'm going to pass this back to Vincent for the next screen.
Thank you, Byron. Again, on that 3-hour webinar yesterday with approximately 300 people from all over New York State, there were school board members, superintendents, principals, teachers, you name it. It was amazing how many of their districts didn't have the necessary and required individuals on their teams. We do here in Brentwood. Responsibilities of the district-wide safety team: assess the vulnerability of the district, recommending proactive measures. We are always proactive in Brentwood, thinking about the future, recommending training programs, dissemination of information, communication, just what we're here doing tonight, and developing plans to keep our staff and children safe. Our cooperating agencies and local governmental agencies. So the term that the State Education Department uses is you don't plan alone. It takes a village to keep a school district the size of Brentwood safe. So here's where I would suggest, when you look at this list of cooperating agencies, governmental agencies, we go way above and beyond because it's much more than working together. We have true partners. And here in Brentwood, relationships that we've cultivated. Our town supervisor, Brentwood Fire Department, Police Department, all the different utilities. So all of these individuals partner with us and are key members of our team to help keep our district and schools safe. Safety planning in New York State is steeped in various policies. Some of them are listed here on the screen: our SAVE legislation, Dignity for All Students Act, our Brentwood Code of Conduct, which is actually derivative of a State Education Department school safety template, fingerprinting of employees, child abuse reporting, whistleblower protection. So there's a whole host of policies at the federal and state level to keep our schools safe, and that is what we follow in Brentwood. Okay, I can take it. Staying safe, I've said it a couple times, it is all about really being proactive, and in Brentwood, we are always about who, just as important, if not more important than what. So getting the very best people on board to keep our staff safe, our children safe. So all the resources that we have here in Brentwood are guidance counselors, social workers, school psychologists, those positions that we've added, recently this year with some of our emergency funds. Our community asked, our staff asked for more of those positions. We've added those. conflict resolution, character education programs, health curricula, crisis prevention. In Brentwood, it's all about being proactive, getting the right people here in this district, and that is the overarching approach to keeping everybody safe.
In addition to things to keep the district safe, we have a universal screening policy. When you come into the building, you have to be screened now. So you're entered into a system and you are checked out before you enter the building. So anyone that enters our buildings, they have to be screened first. Let's talk about to promote positive climate, the different programs that we use in the district to help out. We use these programs like the PAL, which is the Police Athletic League, the Strong program, My Brother's Keeper. These programs help us keep a positive climate, and our students and stuff attend these groups when they do come into the district, and they help us out a lot. Any questions? The board, any questions?
No, thank you.
Thank you for your time.
I just wanted to thank both of you for all the work that you do. I know that it seems very simple when you're up there, but there is a lot going on. And to both of you, we thank you very, very much. Mr. McCray, I think that we've said this over and over, and I just never get tired of saying this. You are just incredibly valuable asset to this community, to the school district, and to every one of the students in this community. I know how much you care about each and every one of them, and we know that we're in wonderful hands with you. So thank you so much.
So I'll take this opportunity. A very important aspect of emergency planning is being able to get in touch with our parents, our families, in the event that there is an emergency. So we're going to talk about our approach, a campaign, if you will, to help us get in touch with our families through the parent portal. Lisa Landry is going to do that. But before we do, I'm going to ask Candace Chang, Director of Technology, to come up and speak about Digital Equity Survey. It is a new process that the State Education Department is instituting because the state wasn't too happy with statewide, not Brentwood, statewide processes for collecting information from parents on their digital connectivity. Do parents have a device, have a laptop? Was it provided? Did you get it yourself? Was it provided by the school? So things of this nature. And the State Education Department has been adamant. The goal is 100% compliance. So we need 100% of our parents to complete a brief survey which answers some of these questions. And Candace has some wonderful ideas about how to help our parents do that. Ladies and gentlemen, Candace Chang.
The only thing we were missing was a drum roll, okay? Next time, you just say the word and we would have had somebody here. Ms. Chang, if I'm going to ask this presentation, if you could, maybe look into the camera as you're speaking, because this is a message that's being streamed to all community members, not just the ones that's here. So that would be wonderful. I know that we have a tremendous amount of participation at these board meetings from people who are sitting home. So this is a message to each and every one of us and each and every one who's out there.
Sorry, just allow me 1 second. I'll probably just be moving over there in a little bit. Hold on. I just have to get the PowerPoint going. Beginning. And then, where did my Zoom go? Okay. Hide, Control C. Sorry about that. It takes a lot of setup to make sure that this goes well
So
on the
I'm going
internet.
to say, if you feel comfortable taking
Yes.
off your mask because you are a speaker, you're more than welcome to do so. We are requesting that once the speaker steps back, that they do put their mask back on.
Yes. I didn't even realize I wanted to tell the truth. All right. Thank you, Dr. Leone, for the introduction, and I want to take this opportunity to thank the Board of Education and the community for this opportunity to present on one of the strategies that is really a large part of the district's continuous efforts to make sure that parents are empowered and involved in their child's education. Okay. So as Dr. Leone had mentioned, we are going to be conducting a digital equity survey, and a lot of that just has to do with one of the things that the pandemic has highlighted, which is that the access to reliable high-speed internet makes a huge difference in making sure that children are still connected to schools. So there is indeed a large push to make sure we gather as much data as possible, and basically, the best way to do that right now would be through our parent portal app, which I will be highlighting here for you today. So many of our parents have been using parent portal over the years, and we do regularly in our family events do promote the use of parent portal. But we're at the point where we would love every parent in the district to take advantage of just this wonderful resource. And at the end, we're going to invite Ms. Lisa Landry up, our eSchool data specialist, to highlight all the features that are in the parent portal for us. So this slide here that you're currently being shown, this is something that we put out during one of our parent workshops about what role certain digital products have played in our community engagement policy. And eSchool data is our student information system. So that's basically where all information about our students live. And they do have a parent portal function, which would allow parents to see things like attendance, to make sure the contact information is correct. I believe they're able to see assessments now. So for example, how your child might have done on a state test or what they might have benchmarked at. That's all available through our eSchool parent portal. Okay, let me just, focus is not. There we go. Okay, and it's really easy to access parent portal. Actually, every parent is given an account shortly after they register their child. So we do mailings periodically, like once every month, to make sure that all parents get a letter with their parent portal credentials. If you've lost it, don't worry. I will go over how you're going to get it shortly. But there are a lot of features within Parent Portal. For example, you can actually customize it so that it's all in your preferred language. So if you're not a native English speaker, you'll still have accessibility to your child's information. And because everyone has a smartphone nowadays, it's really easy to just download the app on your phone. All you have to do is just change your username to your email address, and then you can use that app on your phone. So we did create a short URL here. Let me just minimize this little guy here so that it's more visible. There we go. One way to access our parent portal is to go to www.bufsd.org/parentportal. Also, if you're just going to our website, there's a little link up top that says I want to, and the very first link there is I want to log into parent portal. So we try to make it very easy for you to access the parent portal. Okay. So for those who have not been in eSchool yet, there is a slight process that you do when you first sign into Parent Portal. You'll be asked to set your new password, as well as you're asked to provide your email. And there's a little check mark over there that says, use this email address as my username. And once that's checked off, you could basically now download the phone app onto your phone, enter in the username and the password that you just set, and then you're good to go. For those parents who already have signed into Parent Portal before, you just basically go and update your username by clicking on My Account on the top, and then you just change your username to your email address, and then you'll have access through the app. But as always, if anybody ever does need help with this, we also have a help email. It's parentportal@bufsd.org. And for those parents who've, forgotten their password but are a little bit more tech savvy, there is a mechanism where you can click on forgot password and it'll send a password reset to any email address you've already tied into your parent portal account. So we also make that very easy and convenient for you if you've forgotten it. So as I mentioned earlier, every parent has a parent portal account. It's generated shortly after you register your child. However, we do recognize that, some of you may have lost that mailing, and that's okay. We are actually going to be mailing out on Monday a letter that contains the username and the password to any parent that has not signed into Parent Portal. So that mailing will be coming to you. If you sign into Parent Portal and you still need help, like I said, the previous slide indicated, please email parentportal@bufsd.org. Okay? And I am going to ask Ms. Landry to come up for a live demonstration.
I think I'll be loud enough.
Escape, and then
Let's see, where is it?
escape on this guy. I have to move you a little closer. Okay,
There.
and hide loading control. Okay.
Good evening, everyone. How are we? Good evening. Thank you for having me tonight. My name is Lisa Landry. I've been working with eSchool Data for almost 20 years. Shh. And I've been here in Brentwood for this is my 7th year. So I am very, very excited that we're doing this Parent Portal push because, to be honest, one of the main things that we were talking about was contact information. I remember when my kids were in school, you get that contact card every year. And hopefully you get it in the backpack and you get it home and you fill it out. And then you have to send it back. And then the secretary has to put it in if there's a change. Well, what we're going to do right here is if you access your Parent Portal account, you can actually make changes, confirm what's already there. And once you save it, it automatically is going into eSchool. So your registration system has everything updated for you. So we don't need that card anymore. So now, if I could only see this, which child I'm clicking on here. Hold on a moment. Melanie. The last name is Landry. I changed it to mine. Just there. Okay. So what we can do is when a person logs into their account, it's going to automatically, if I click on my student, it's going to push me right to that contact screen. So then I can look at everything here, look at the information, look at my phone numbers, look at my emails, take it all the way down. If I have a red X, I can delete something if I don't want it, if it's no longer relevant, and you just take it all the way down and you save it. Once you hit this verify and it saves, you're going to get a message up at the top and says, okay, everything is successful. That means all the information you just put in is live. It's there. There's no waiting. There's no need for filling out anything by hand or waiting for the secretary to get it in there. All right? So it's very simple. And you would do that for every student, obviously, if you need to. The other piece that we were talking about was the digital equity survey. This is something that the state is now required. We actually, as a district, have to start reporting this in December. And it's going to be continuous throughout the year. And one thing I wanted to point out here, and Candace mentioned before, in this district, we have households that are already set to receive all their correspondence in Spanish, translated. That means when you go to your Parent Portal account, it's already translated for you. You don't have to change anything. If you wanted to, you could always go up to the top, and there's a little spot there that I can choose English or Spanish and do it that way, right up here. Okay? But so your digital access, your digital equity survey rather, is a tab here. You're going to click on it. And what it's going to give you are all the questions, there are 9 of them, that the state is expecting you to answer. And you have to put an answer into every one, and then you save it. If you are getting translated information, it will be in Spanish as well. Once this information is in there, this automatically goes into the student area, and so that when we pull our extracts that go to the state, the information's already going to be there. And then the district will also have ability to check and see who's still pending and putting in answers, et cetera, et cetera. But honestly, it's very simple. We're going to have documentation that's going to assist the parents in whatever they need. The other thing that I should have made a big sign here, parent portal at bufsd.org. If you have a question, if you're locked, if you never got your letter, if you threw it away by accident, if you just have a question as to what it is that you're seeing, just email. It's usually I will answer. I have several other people that are helping me, and we will get back to you without a doubt. Part of this campaign, as Candace mentioned, is if you already have students that are enrolled in the district, you automatically have a parent portal account. Sometimes there's a little confusion where parents say, I'm trying to register for a parent portal account and it's not allowing me to. You don't need to register. If your kids are registered here already, you have an account. So it's really just all about getting us an email so we can get you the information that you need, and we will get you onto your account. The other thing I want to mention too, I believe we are working on getting call-in helplines that will be available. Information will come to you on that. So if you need help in regards to anything, you can give us a call for that. And as Candace also mentioned, anyone who has not accessed their parent portal account, letters are going out. Monday, you said? Monday. Right. And that's basically it. Very simple. Thank you. Any questions?
There's a question.
Thank you, Lisa.
Yes.
I've been trying to get on the parent portal since the beginning of the year.
Okay. I'll help you. Come on over and give me your name and I'll take care of it for you.
Okay.
All right? Thank you.
It's actually compiling all of the information.
You want to just,
in terms
you
of
want to just
your-
ask that
Well,
question in public?
I think, Dr. Leone, it's compiling all of the data on the IT, the equipment that every student has, and then we have to submit that to the state.
So, any questions, board members? No? Thank you so much, Ms. Landry and Ms. Chang. Again, just, incredibly valuable members of the staff, and we appreciate everything that you do for the district, for each one of the students and the community at large. I know that all the work that you've done over the last, year and a half, 18 months, almost 2 years now, is well above and beyond anything that anybody expected. And on behalf of the entire Board of Education, thank you so much for your hard work and dedication. So with that being said, I think that we are going on to A4, special recognition Mr. Lochner.
Yes, all right. Welcome, everyone. Actually, before I do the special presentation, I have a special presentation before the special presentation, okay? We are going to introduce our student liaison, who is here with us this evening. We're going to introduce him. He will actually say hello real quickly, but then next month, he will come to us and he'll be the high school liaison. And he is just a wonderful student. It is actually my honor to introduce this year's student liaison, Mauricio Diaz. Mauricio, can you come on up?
Hello everyone, my name is Mauricio Diaz. I'm a senior at the high school in the Ross Center. I'm excited to see what the school year holds for everyone, and I'm looking forward to working closely with the Board of Education.
Wow, terrific. Thank you, Mauricio.
Thank you so much.
Okay, all right. We're on to the special presentation. It is really my honor to introduce the Coordinator of Fine Arts. We've been giving out some compliments tonight. Mr. Feliciano, he absolutely deserves one. He's been with us now 2 years, and he is just, I tell you what, he is a part of the school culture. He's doing a tremendous job in the art and the music department. And I can actually say this, I think he loves Brentwood as much as the rest of us. And we are so fortunate to have him as the Coordinator of Fine Arts, Mr. Angel Perez.
Thank you, Mr. Lochner, and good evening to the Board of Education, cabinet members, fellow staff, parents, and community. Truly is an honor to be here tonight, because tonight I'm being called here to do or the reason that we wake up in the morning, and that's to serve our children. So we are going to, I'm here to do a presentation to honor these 3 dynamic students and their amazing teacher. They participated in a mural project, and I would be remiss if I did not talk about the partners in this project. This was done with LILTA, which is the Long Island Latino Teachers Association, and Teatro Yerba Bruja. They came to us with a project where we would have students from Brentwood and from Central Islip work together to create a mural in a specific area. This mural is found in La Placita, which is right next to Colombian restaurant Pollos Mario, which is at that intersection of 5th Avenue and Wicks Road. So if you have not had an opportunity to see the amazing work that was done, please give yourselves a chance to go out there and see the amazing work our students have done. And what I really love, this is really, to me, a realization of a dream, because we were able to have students work together. They were able to work with community organizations. They were able to work with the local businesses. They were able to also work with the professional artists. And together they were able to create a beautiful project that really beautified the neighborhood. So they took their talents and gave back to the community. And I'm so proud that we're instilling in our students a sense of community pride and of leadership and giving back from what they received. So I would like to, behind these 3 dynamic students, we have our wonderful teacher, Lisa Calvo. If I ask her to come up front. And she is going to present 3 letters that we have on behalf of the superintendent and the cabinet. And I would like to invite, yes, there we go, Ivana Gibson, please. We have Erica Enriquez and Valerie Enriquez. Right. And again, I said it's really a special honor. These are 3 dynamic young women They are tour de force, and it's really an honor to work with them. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, you know what? Hold on. We're actually going to come up and take a picture, but I really do want to encourage the community to stop by. Actually, Mr. Perez, just kidding around here. You actually don't have to give directions to La Placida.
All right.
If you are in Brentwood, you know La Placida.
That's for the World Wide Web.
That's where it begins. That's number one. Number two is it's on the north side of La Placida. And I really encourage everyone not to drive by, but to stop, get out of the car, and probably spend a good 20 minutes because it's artwork that depicts the life and journey of so many of our students and families in this community. And I want to thank you because I thought that you captured it with such emotion. It really is such emotion and such feeling. And I think it's really a fabulous piece of art that I think everybody in Brentwood really should spend some time, go over there and celebrate. Obviously, we talk about the diversity of this fabulous community. I think you capture it there, and you also capture, like I said, the journey of so many of our students and families. So I want to thank you for that. And I encourage everybody to go. Hang on, guys. We're going to take a picture.
It's what it is now, not what it was.
I never was told that was allowed. So you don't mean, yeah, I know, I don't put it on the
Hope you drop your mom.
Again, just to reiterate what Mr. Lotion said, this, on behalf of the entire Board of Education, we're so proud of what it is that we're accomplishing in this district. And again, Mr. Perez, Angel, is just a tremendous asset to this community. I think I've said this a couple of times today as we were trying to figure out who the candidates for those items on our resolution were for tonight, and we really are trying to build an all-star team, and I think that we are slowly but surely getting there, and each one of you and the roles that you have in this district means so much. So, Mr. Perez, thank you on behalf of the Board of Education for everything you do. And to the parents and children, listen, this is about the time that we're going to get into the rest of our agenda. I know that you have a
Robert, I'm sorry,
tremendous amount of...
before you go on, can we take the opportunity to invite the community to the high school play tomorrow?
Oh, absolutely.
It just so happens
I
that
think Mr. Loshner has that on his...
you might have that at the end, but before
at the end,
people leave.
yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes, I'm sure I have that. Yes,
Yes.
it is.
Yep.
But thank you, Julie.
Thank you.
It's okay to say it now, because
Yep.
we might lose some people.
So to the parents and the kids, I know that you have a tremendous amount of homework to do, so if you wanted to leave now, it's probably a really good idea.
You don't have to.
But you don't have to. You don't have to. You're more than welcome to stay. I was just trying to give you the excuse.
Oh, students.
Okay. So we are going to go to item A5, questions on the agenda. I have just one question, and it is from Ms. Carmen Oyola, agenda item D1B, non-certificated personnel. On that, she is referencing numbers 29, number 31, number 33, and number 34. The question is, or the statement is that we made an error. 29, 31, 34 should read 6.5 hours, and 33 should read 6.25 hours. Ms. Oyola, and I know that there was an exchange, email exchange, that I think the board members were CC'd, if not, at least I know that I was CC'd on this, and I know that Mr. Loshner did respond that TAs and monitors and whatnot should not exceed 6 hours. So I know that that is the response, and for that reason, I feel very comfortable saying that that is, it is correct, and that's the way it should read. Listen, what I'm going to ask Ms. Oyola is if you have any questions beyond this, that you please take it up directly with Mr. Loshner after the meeting.
No, because this is an agenda item, and you're gonna vote on it. And you voted on it in September, and you renamed it October, and went back to the same bowl. It has to stop. How do you put it at 6 hours, number 33, when the member has a letter here? Congratulations for selecting the 6.25-hour monitor's job at the freshman center.
Ms. Oyola, that might have been an error, I think.
Oh, at the 6.5?
Again,
Was not negotiated by CSE. Again, I want to know the reason, the legality, the gist, why a part-time employee cannot work more than 30 hours a week. Explain it.
Ms. Oyola, and
Not an answer.
what I'm saying is that I believe that letter was sent out in error. So the response that Mr. Loshner gave you, something that I read, I think it was available to most board members,
It
is,
said that TAs and monitors cannot make more than 6 hours.
and there is,
You didn't answer the why, so why?
I think that that is the answer in and of itself. Anything that beyond this, please,
Then table it. Table it,
Please.
don't vote on it. because
Thank-
it's been ridiculous.
we'll take that into consideration. Thank you.
Well, again, Betty Moss is not the only one that's gonna have those realities here.
Thank you.
I'll be having more.
We don't have any more questions. With that being said, I would say that, can I have a, be it resolved that we're going to go to A5, consent agenda. Be it resolved that the following items be approved. B1A through B1M. I need a motion.
Motion.
Motion by trustee Burgos. Could I have a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Moore. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? So moved. We are going to go to B2V, and we're going to have to amend that. As I mentioned earlier. So B2V, I need a motion to amend as follows on the last sentence of the first paragraph. The contract is for Repertorio to provide one performance of La Breve y Maravillosa Vida de Oscar Wilde at the Brentwood High School.
B2B?
B2V, V.
Oh,
V
D,
as in
D, I'm
Victor.
sorry, thank you. B2B on mine is not that either.
So I need a motion to amend.
Motion. V like Victor, okay.
Motion by trustee Gonzalez Prescott. Can I have a second? Second by trustee Felix. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? So moved. So now, going back to the consent agenda, be it resolved that the following items be approved, B2A through B2W with B2V as amended. Could I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by trustee Felix. Could I have a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Safiri. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? So moved. Be it resolved that the following items be approved on the consent agenda, C1A and C1B. Could I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Motion by trustee Moore. Could I have a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Holder Daniel. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? So moved. We are moving to D items. D1A, appointments, resignations, and leaves of certificated personnel as proposed on the agenda. Could I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Motion by trustee Burgos. Could I have a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Felix. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? So moved. We're moving to D1B. We are going to amend, as I mentioned earlier. Could I have a motion to amend as follows? That item 53A include Deborah Banker, with all else remaining the same. Motion?
Discussion?
Amend? Sure.
Motion for that.
Oh, no, just, we're making the motion just to amend this one item.
Right, because I'm not agreeing.
Okay, so the motion to amend to add Deborah Banker. Could I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by trustee Burgos. All in favor?
No, now discussion.
A second?
She's wanted discuss, oh, second.
Second on this?
Second.
Second, trustee Felix. All in favor?
No.
Aye.
I thought,
To
only
amend.
for that-
We're just,
that
this
one.
is the motion to amend.
Put the name in.
All in favor to amend to add Deborah Banker?
And that's the only thing.
And that's the only thing, yes.
Okay.
Aye? Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, so we've amended to add Deborah Banker. Now, D1B, before we have discussion, we're going to have to, first and second, right? Could I have a motion on D1B as amended?
motion.
Motion, could I have a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Moore. Discussion?
Yes. Carmen has a letter that says, I'm not going to go by what that letter says. I'm going to go by what her letter says.
Any other discussion?
You can.
Mr. Lochner, is there any light that you could shed, anything that you could give the board members to, because I read your email.
Right.
And it was very
I
succinct.
read it too, but she has a letter.
And again, I believe that letter went out in error, Mr.
Well,
Lochner.
I'm not comfortable.
No, I
It could
understand.
be-
and-
What if it's
and,
right?
You know, it's actually not right. It's
I'm-
historically, we've only maxed all TAs and monitors at 6 hours.
But did anybody go to this person and tell them that?
Yes, they have. We actually have gone to the employees. Ms. Ortiz, do we have that with that, the information? Do we have something signed by them as well? No. No? Okay, I'm sorry. That was something else? Did we send them something to say that we'd be going down to 6 hours?
They have that, yes.
Right. So,
6 1/4. She was just given this.
No, and I understand, and I do apologize for, well, that, I have to apologize. I mean, obviously, I don't want a TA or a monitor to think that we're taking hours away from them willy-nilly. Unfortunately, that was on an agenda, it was approved, and as per the agenda items, the next day, there are clericals that actually just go through the agenda and they send out letters immediately to congratulate the staff members on any changes.
Mr. Lochner, could you
Yes.
just clarify, is the limit of 6 hours due to either policy, legislation, or a contractual issue? Like, so where does the 6-hour
Okay,
number
no,
come
and I
from?
think that's a great question. It's one that should be answered.
Yes.
It is, as I said, there's two things here. Number one is the historical perspective. We've never given a TA or a monitor greater than 6 hours. The second reason would really be something that we would have to discuss as a district. If you go beyond 30 hours, as you know, we would then have to offer health care. And that is a financial decision that the district would have to make prior to approving someone to get greater than 30 hours.
The other thing that should, the other thing, I'm sorry,
On the benefit part, our contract clearly reads, if the district, when Perky, New York came out, it said 30 hours. I was one of those, I was offered it, it's at 100% of the member's cost. So it doesn't cost the district anything.
so I do want to also
that
add
what-
to what Mr. Lochner said. I did want to add to what Mr. Lochner said, that one of the things that we did, and I think that might have, added to the confusion, is that we provided more hours
Additional.
to all of that, segment because of the need in the district. So, I think that in that haste, that item may have been overlooked, and that's why I knew in my conversations with Mr. Lochner that that was an error, and that's why I answered the way I did.
Right, it should be noted, right, over the last 2 years, we've really raised virtually every monitor or TA from, we had 3.5-hour contracts, we had 4-hour contracts, we had 5-hour contracts. And what I set out to do with the board's approval is to move virtually all of them to 6 hours. And again, that was, the employee had to say yes, agree to being raised from 4 hours, for example, to 6 hours. Obviously, most of them did appreciate that move. But again, this is something that we can discuss further. But as I said, I gave you the two perspective, one historical, one for a financial, certainly something that we could discuss. But again, I do apologize. Those letters were sent out in error. The TAs that received the letter were notified they're actually entitled to just 6.0 hours. Now, I will tell you that we're not limited to 30 hours per week. There are times where there are TAs and monitors who actually exceed that. And what they do is they fill out a timesheet. For instance, if they stay, on a Tuesday or a Thursday, they stay greater than their allotted time, they fill out a timesheet and they get paid the additional hour or the additional 2 hours or 3 hours, whatever the case may be. And I will tell you, quite honestly, there are a fair amount of TAs and monitors across the district that do fairly regularly exceed the 30 hours. And they'll do a couple of hours here, they'll do a couple of hours there at the behest of usually the building administration.
Just something maybe that we should continue to discuss, and if there is a need, at any level to increase hours, it's something that we should have a conversation about.
Absolutely, and what I just want to make sure that we continue to move on the agenda item as is, knowing with the explanation that Mr. Lochner gave, and taking into consideration, these items for further discussion when, maybe at our next meeting or the meeting after that. I know we have a pretty full agenda.
Can somebody reach out to the one person who,
Ms. Bartos,
Miss-
for 10 years, just to give you the clarity, they're not telling you that. For more than 10 years, these 3 members have been working 6.5 hours. They've been filling out the extra time sheet of an hour. In September, it was voted on. 2 days after the board meeting, an email was sent to the secretaries, no, bring them back to the 5.5. I didn't make the mistake. The members didn't, and I'm still getting the runaround. Oh, you can't make more than 6 hours. What law, where's the legal stuff? If it's there, show it to me.
All
But
right,
I have not seen it.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Oyola, and I'm sorry, I know your frustration, but I think we should discuss this further, and and it is personnel related, so we should talk about that. And, if there is a need for these continual hours, maybe it is something that we need to address, so.
Yes, absolutely.
As far as voting today, I don't know that we need to table it, unfortunately, and I don't want to dishonor,
Well,
what
if we
you're
don't
saying.
vote on it, they lose the hours then. Is that correct?
No, they
But
just
they-
have to do the timesheet,
No.
Okay.
which is not beneficial for them. And payroll doesn't like it because it's an extra timesheet,
No, they
which is
don't.
a nuisance for them.
But there's a bigger issue here, right? If they work more than 30 hours, then they're entitled to benefits, and I think that's a conversation that we need to have.
It is a
as board.
conversation.
But it's at 100% to us, that's how our contract reads it. And they can't, I know, and I cannot afford $870 a month just for insurance for me, so I turn it down. It's at our cost, it doesn't cost the district anything. Our contract clearly says we must pay 100% of the
But-
premium.
So is that contrary, though, to either
Yeah, the
state or?
ACA, there are actually other things to consider there, Carmen, that there are federal laws that actually supersede the CBA in this particular case.
Yeah.
So for
Well, it's
instance,
only been September since I've been dealing with this, and I haven't gotten those answers if they're there. What are you waiting for?
So I'm,
Can we maybe by next
I am
meeting
going to
spell
recommend,
that out?
I am going to recommend that we
Table.
conclude this conversation, and we act on it, and then we have this conversation with Labor Council, so that we can get, the answers that we need. We may be able to come back with more answers for Ms. Oyola through the superintendent. But as of now, no one's losing any hours. We're not taking anything away because it's going to manifest itself the way Mr. Lochner said.
Sorry.
yeah, no one's going to lose any
Yep.
hours or time at all.
Okay. So, D1B, appointments, resignations, and leaves of non-certificated personnel as amended. Could I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Motion, oh, we do have a
We
motion.
have a motion and a
Yeah,
second.
we would
We do have a
discuss.
motion and a second. All in favor?
I abstain.
Aye.
I abstain
Opposed?
also.
I abstain.
Abstentions? Spurgos and Safiri abstain. Motion passes. We are now going to D1C. And again, well, maybe I can just read this one. We are going to amend and add the name Elizabeth Sheehan, as mentioned earlier. Could I have a motion to amend?
Motion.
Motion by trustee Gonzalez Prescott. Could I have a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Safiri. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? So moved to amend. So now D1C, Administrative Table of Organization, Assistant Coordinator to the Director of Special Services. Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Board of Education hereby appoints Elizabeth Sheehan as Assistant Coordinator to the Director of Special Services with a 4-year probationary period beginning November 29th, 2021 through November 28th, 2025. And be it further resolved that Elizabeth Sheehan shall be remunerated at a salary set forth in the negotiated agreement between Brentwood Union Free School District and the Brentwood Principals and Supervisors Organization. Could I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Motion by trustee Moore. Could I have a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Burgos. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? So moved. Congratulations, Ms. Sheehan.
Stand up, Elizabeth.
D1D, Administrative Table of Organizations. I need a motion to amend to add Denise Farrell to D1D. Could I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Motion by trustee Felix. Could I have a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Safiri. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? So moved. So D1D, be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Board of Education hereby appoints Denise Farrell as Assistant Coordinator to the Director of Special Services with a 4-year probationary period beginning November 29th, 2021 through November 28th, 2025. And be it further resolved that Denise Farrell shall be remunerated at a salary set forth in a negotiated agreement between the Brentwood Union Free School District and the Brentwood Principals and Supervisors Organization. Could I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Motion by trustee Holder Daniel. Could I have a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Moore. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? So moved. Congratulations, Ms. Farrell. D1E, could I have a motion to amend to add the name Kimberly Clark to D1E? Could I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Motion by trustee Holder Daniel. Could I have a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Safiri. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? So moved. Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education hereby appoints Kimberly Clark as assistant coordinator to the Director of Special Services with a probationary period beginning December 13th, 2021 through December 12th, 2025, and be it further resolved that Kimberly Clark shall be remunerated at a salary set forth in a negotiated agreement between the Brentwood Union Free School District and the Brentwood Principals and Supervisors Organization. Can I have a motion, please?
Motion.
The motion by trustee Felix. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Holder Daniel. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? So moved. Congratulations, Ms. Clark. B1F, could I have a motion to amend by adding Paula Ribeiro to this resolution? The name Paula Ribeiro, motion? To amend.
Motion.
Trustee Burgos, could I have a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Safiri. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? So moved. Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education hereby appoints Paula Ribeiro as coordinator of bilingual and English as a new language instruction, K through 12, with a 3-year probationary period beginning November 29th, 2021 through November 28th, 2024, and be it further resolved that Paula Ribeiro shall be remunerated at a salary set forth in a negotiated agreement between the Brentwood Union Free School District and the Brentwood Principals and Supervisors Organization. Could I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Could I have a motion by, it seemed like stereo. was
Eileen,
coming.
yeah, it was stereo.
Yeah, it was so. Trustee Felix, could I have a second, please?
Second.
Second by trustee Burgos. Before we vote, I wanted to clarify, is this a 3-year probationary or 4-year
It
probationary
is a
period?
3-year, because Paula has her tenure right now as an administrator, and the law changed a couple of years ago. So now they
Perfect.
have a 3-year tenure track.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? So moved. Congratulations, Ms. Ribeiro. I think So again, we really are trying to move this district forward, and I think that one of the ways that we do that is by putting the right people in place, and congratulations to all 4 of you. E1A, student enrollment figures as presented on the agenda. F16, miscellaneous items for information. F16, miscellaneous items for information only. G1A, old and new business.
Good night, Candace.
I just wanted to start that, Ms. Lochner, because what I did was I brought one of the gifts that some of the board members, I think all the board members, and you, had gotten from the kids who were celebrating the opening of the kitchens and what's the term of the classroom itself? The
Life skill.
The
life skills
class.
The life skills classroom. We had the privilege of attending the ribbon cutting. Board members, Ms. Lochner and a bunch of administrators, over at the Freshman Center and over at North Middle. And, again, I'm so proud of what it is that we're trying to do in this district. We've been shackled by, just never having the money to do all the things that we know we'd like to do. And we've been, privileged to finally have some money to take this school district into, decades to come with the things that we're trying to build out and include. Both ceremonies were incredibly impressive. I'd like to thank Ms. Rhonda Young and her staff and everybody involved in putting these in place. I know that B&G did a tremendous amount of work over the summer. Ms. O'Connor, thank you for making that happen. And to anybody who's out there in terms of the community, this is, it's just wonderful. It's the special needs population, with and the tools now to ensure that they have the fullest level of independence when they leave the Brentwood School District. And I know that we've been talking about these things, Trustee Felix, I know that we've been doing this for years, and it's finally happening, So tomorrow, to anybody who's out there, trustees, we're doing this again at South Middle and I believe West Middle. I don't know if they are handing out,
I'm sure they have a.
I don't know if they are handing out, these aprons. We get treats all around. But at North Middle, we had the privilege of getting these.
Isn't that great?
These aprons, and I thought it was the sweetest thing in the world. They were prepared for us. It was a celebration. It was what we are trying to get into this community. And again, thank you to everybody who participated and made all of this happen.
Now, why does it have tomato sauce on it already? Did you use it last time?
Well, I did notice that Mr. Gangler's had Chef Gangler on it.
I did notice that.
Yeah, I may just be working the salad over there. I just chopping up lettuce, but it really.
It's 9:45 at West Middle School and 11:15 at South Middle School.
Yep. So it just goes hand in hand with what it is that we've been trying to do for so many years, and what it is that we are presenting now. There's no doubt in my mind that each and every one of these board members is committed to making sure that this district is the best that it can be. And now with this, this money that we have, it really is our intention and our hope that, we are laying the groundwork for district, 50 years to come. We're finally moving on some of the capital improvement projects. We are, we have a wish list that we've, it's on everybody's bulletin board, and these things are coming to fruition. So, congratulations to everybody who had a hand in this, and to the community. There's just more and more wonderful things coming our way, and I'm so happy about this. Ms. Loshner?
If I could just add, I'm looking forward to the cooperative program we approved as a board 2 years ago to finally come to fruition. Dr. Akil was leading that charge, but I'm hoping now that Ms. Wanda Ortiz will kind of take charge of that and champion it and bring it forward and develop that relationship with the Chamber of Commerce and our local businesses, and afford our students the opportunity to get some hands-on, real-life training, work training, and possible work opporlife
Yeah, and you're talking about the internships, the partnerships with
Yes.
local
Yes.
employers,
Yeah.
life skills, in a real way that's actually, money as a salary. Absolutely, absolutely.
So I'm hoping we
And
can-
that was part of our conversation with Mr. Bennis. I know, I know that we had that conversation. So yes. Really, I just, to each and every board member, I just want to thank you for your commitment and your resolve. It really is what makes, success out of everything that we're trying to do. So thank you on my behalf. Mr. Loshner?
No, thank you, Mr. Feliciano, and I couldn't agree more. We are we are really doing amazing things, and we are very blessed and fortunate to have now the opportunity to do so many things that we wanted to do. And again, I want to thank Ms. Young and Ms. Sinius. They just did an outstanding job. No.
I was going to say, can we also give kudos to those teachers in
Absolute-
those classrooms?
Absolutely. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Ms. Moore. The teachers, you could just tell the love that they have for these kids, for the kids. But you know what? We're so fortunate because our teachers, I think, top to bottom, care so deeply about our kids. So there's lots of great things to come, and we love, I have to say my entire cabinet, I'm really fortunate because their creativity and their drive is really tremendous. And I think we're going to benefit from years to come. And plus, I have to compliment the administrators we hired tonight. I think you said that, Ms. Feliciano. We are determined to hire the best, and we truly are hiring the best. And I'm really excited where this district is headed. So with that, I have the honor to, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to recognize two students. I'm actually going to ask the board to bring them, hopefully in the near future. But we have two student athletes who actually got scholarships, who received scholarships for their athletic prowess. And they're actually just two tremendous kids. I've had the opportunity to know one really well, and another I've gotten to know, and he's just an exceptional gentleman, and we actually have his mom here this evening. But let me just introduce two students, but I would like to have them eventually because, we have kids. Obviously, we had the art students here, but who really honor us very well, just do great honor to this community. But we also had two student athletes that do the same, that we really should be quite proud of. And that's Randy Ram the Race and Isabella Jaka, just two tremendous kids. So, all right, other good news. Well, this is not so good. It's kind of a survey here. But you're getting used to these surveys, but they are invaluable to what we do here. And I want to say that every survey that you do, whether you're a student, whether you're a staff member, whether you're a community member, we look at that closely. We actually, Dr. Leone actually compiles all of the data, gives it to us, we go over it, and we truly make changes to whatever that survey is requesting us to do. So this week, we administered another American Rescue Plan, the ARP survey, to the staff and community. It went out via Parent Square. This survey is for the final $10 million in state reserve funding. You've heard us mention the ARP funding along with the CRRSA funding that we've been fortunate to get. Well, this is, and we've obviously identified how we're going to spend the money. This last $10 million, we need this survey to help us determine how to spend and distribute this money. So the surveys have been, they're both in English and Spanish, and as I mentioned, they were sent out via Parent Square, and they may also be accessed through our website. And as I mentioned, your input is vital. Special services, I don't know if you've seen this. We've actually sent it out in a number of different ways, Facebook, Parent Square, on the website. Special Services is hosting a video competition and are looking forward to building a parent resource library. This will offer parent guidance to help assist students in need. If interested, email April Sinius at asinius@bufsd.org. All community stakeholders are invited to participate. We're really excited about this. We're actually going to post these videos, the winners of this contest, and I think it's going to be the start of lots of these self-help videos, if you will, because now Special Services is leading the way, but I suspect other departments will follow. Do you want to say anything, Ms. Young, in regards to that?
Well, you covered it well. I was just going to say that I think it's so many parents are struggling with ways to meet the needs of their students, and there are other parents out there that have great ideas and things that work for their kids. So I think each one teach one. So it would be nice for the community to participate, and parents that have, tried things with their kids and they were successful, if they could share that. We'd like to get that information out there so other parents can.
Yeah, it's just a fabulous idea to tap into the community. Really wonderful, Ms. Young. So we are currently incorporating a parent advisory board to foster positive community relationships and encourage parent participation in the development of special education initiatives. If interested, please contact April Sinius again at Special Services. The high school guidance counselors have been meeting with parents and students every Saturday to complete the FAFSA and New York State financial aid forms by appointments from 8:30 to 12:30. So again, the guidance department has been meeting with seniors and their families to help fill out the FAFSA. Make sure you make an appointment. It's a tremendous help. Also, the guidance department hosted a financial aid night for parents on November 4th. Suffolk Community College presented, and I should tell the school community, if I may, that we've actually probably had upwards of 20, 25 colleges, right, Ms. Ortiz, who are actually making personal visits. They're sending out guidance counselors from the various colleges. They're meeting with students in small groups. Typically, it takes place in the Ross Library, and there might be 20, 25 students who sign up. For example, I was there one day last week, and I believe it was Sacred Heart University. They came in, met with the students in a very small setting, and they were able to answer any student questions. They'll also talk about finance. They'll talk about what the college has to offer. So it's really, we're also going to do the college fair in the spring, but what a wonderful opportunity to sit and be exposed to colleges, not just in our area, although they are also taking place, Farmingdale College, for example, but also from the surrounding, from obviously just New York State, upstate, but also the surrounding areas, New Jersey, Connecticut, et cetera. So really a great opportunity to be exposed to different programs in different colleges. Okay, so, as I said that, on-site admissions. I just was saying that. Farmingdale and Mercy College are offering on-site admissions. I don't believe I said that, but that's something that these colleges offer also. When they come for a visit, they may actually do an on-site admissions right at that moment. So it's a great opportunity that the guidance department has started doing the last couple of years. We are in our third week of Super Saturday Academy. I want to thank Ms. Palmer for really spearheading this. This is the Super Saturday Academy for grades 4 and 5. Children are reading beautiful books that connect to themes of belonging, curiosity, friendship, kindness, confidence, courage, and hope. EOC also engages our students in arts and crafts and STEAM activities each week, and they have a 1 hour they have a 1 hour physical education outdoors. Our kids are engaging in meaningful academic activities, and they're also having a blast while doing it. So again, thank you for doing that as well. The high school musical is tomorrow and Saturday night at 7:30, Almost Maine. It has a talented cast of high school students, and I really encourage everyone to come out and see the show. It is going to be fabulous. I had an opportunity to swing by the rehearsals. It's going to be just terrific. And I guess this is probably our 4th or 5th year, Miss Young?
7th year.
Is it? Oh my Lord, am I getting old? Oh my God, really? It's 7 years? Wow. So we have the tree lighting event will be held at the high school on December 10th from 6 to 8 p.m. It is going to be a blast. Last year, it was really outstanding event where literally hundreds and hundreds of cars came through. So this year it's going to be even bigger and better with different clubs hosting.
Can I just?
Oh yeah.
It's going to be, we're trying to have this outside.
Right.
This year where you could walk through it. Like, kind of create a festive atmosphere like that Manhattan film. So that's what we're trying to do. Now, if the weather permits, we'll do it that way, but if it doesn't, then we'll line the main hallway in the high school, you'll come in through the Ross building, and then you'll exit out of the deep edge.
Right, right, okay. No matter what happens, it's going to be outstanding. And it really is a community event at this point. I also want to actually go off script here and introduce an alumni who I want to thank for his service to this country. He just came back from serving 4 years in the military, and I think he should be recognized. First, I'm going to start with his dad, who is just a tremendous man, Mr. Garcia, and he has brought up a tremendous son. He is just a tremendous dad, but he has an equally fabulous son that I've gotten to know over the years. But I want to thank you for your service, Brandon. So let me introduce just a tremendous young man, Brandon Garcia.
Who was once our student liaison.
What's that?
I said, who was once our student liaison.
That's right, was once our student liaison. And you know what, he's back now, just yesterday, right? And you're still in the National Guard, correct?
I enlisted in the National Guard next month.
Wow, that is just tremendous. Thank you again, Brandon. And I am sure we're going to see Brandon do great things in this community. What's that?
I see you here a lot.
Terrific. We look forward to it.
Thank you, Ms.
If I
Lotion.
could just add one last thing.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, Robert. I also want to discuss, or at some point, have a discussion with guidance in regards to bringing back the I Am Brentwood initiative that we did.
Right.
With the kids, talking about where they're going to college and their senior year experience, to bring that back to the community. It's been a rough 2 years, and I think it'll be just encouraging and enlightening to see that the children are still thriving, even though we've all gone through some hard times during COVID, and our children are still excelling. And so I just think it would be a good thing to have our community acknowledge and our district acknowledge that, we still are working hard, and the teachers are working hard, and our students are working hard.
And are successful. You know what, Ms. Ortiz, that's a fabulous idea. I see what Ms. Ortiz is writing furiously. You know what, I'd love to see a video also of I Am Brentwood and our high school students, saying telling us where they're going and their success. I think it's a great idea. So, as I said, if you give it to Ms. Ortiz, it'll be done.
And, that just leads me to just go on and say that I think that we have an Emmy award-winning teacher in terms of video.
Yes.
Yes, I don't remember his name.
Sequoia. Yep, he will, I'm sure, well, obviously, that's who we're going to reach out to.
He did
do
the
this.
first one.
He did the first one, yeah, I Am Brentwood.
Yep.
And it was just terrific. It really was wonderful.
Yeah. So we'll see that on the award night. Channel 7 or Channel 4, I don't know which one it is, but, it's the Emmys,
I'm
all
sure
right?
they'll carry it.
All right. So we have one, is that all, Mr. Loescher?
That's it.
Okay.
Yes, thank
So
you.
we're on community, last item, public comment. We have one speaker, community comment, Ms. Oyola. And this is, if we can just set up the microphone so that she is able to come up. Ms. Oyola, so I'm reading what the topic is, and I'm just going to ask you to be very, very, very cautious in terms of not providing any information that may identify students. I know that the general topic
I
is
never
students.
have and I never will.
Yes,
Thanks for the heads up, but I don't do that.
And
I'm not here to
absolutely.
do that.
It's-
I'm a parent advocate for children with needs.
Yes.
I would
And
never.
When I see that the comment or the topic is students not receiving all their needed services, I just have to, say that. That's it.
No,
And
you
I
just
didn't.
wanted to, but anyway.
It's not accusatory. It's just
Anyway.
something that I did. Okay.
I met with Ms. Young after the last meeting. And again, many of the TAs, especially the special ed TAs, yes, special ed TAs, if hired in BOCES and even in the IEP program that we had had to assist in changing a child's diaper. Not the ones hired in special ed, we never had it. But that's been thrown on their face, and who cares? Just a comment, it's been thrown there. Now, it was a great presentation by Byron and Dr. Leone, but how well is security when you're utilizing TAs and monitors in the front door duty? Who don't even have any kind of security training, but you utilize them there.
Thank you, Ms. Iola. With that being said, I am going to just have one more comment. Next week is just a day that we come together as a country, and I think at this point maybe as a world, to give thanks. Next Thursday is Thanksgiving. And on behalf of the entire Board of Education, administrators, the entire staff of the district, we wish each and every family, each and every person within this community and at large the best of everything. We do have a lot of things to give thanks for, especially having gone through the last 18 months or so. So happy Thanksgiving to each and every one of you on behalf of the board. Thank you so much for coming out. I'm going to need a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting.
Motion.
Motion by trustee Felix. Can I have a second? Second by trustee Holder Daniel. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? So moved. Have a good night.